Hey everyone, it's me again, Brittany, and welcome back to my channel. I am here today to do my May book haul. So we really should just get into it because there's 20 books. I was supposed to wait, there's one more coming in right now, but it hasn't even shipped yet, it's still being processed, so I really don't know when it's gonna come in. I do want to mention though that this might be one of my last monthly book hauls. I might just be doing book hauls sporadically just whenever I have enough books from now on, so let's just get started with this one. The first book that I bought this month was Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This is an adult fantasy novel. There's a ton of cursing, there's a badass assassin, there's really dark and twisty plot. I don't know much else about it. I don't really want to know much else about it. All those things just appeal to me, you know, the cursing, the assassin, I don't know. And then I did actually buy the UK edition. I just like it a lot more than the United States edition. The United States ones are the America ones are fine, but the UK ones are gorgeous. And that's actually the book that I'm waiting for in the mail right now, is God's Grave, which is the second book in the Nevernight series, trilogy. Because I also got the UK edition from Book Depository, so I just have to wait. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. Oh, it's so pretty. I am waiting to read it just until I get God's Grave in the mail. I know I'm gonna wanna just marathon both the books that are out so far. Next up, I bought Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I have only read one other book by Colleen Hoover. It was November 9th. I don't know too much about this. I believe it's a friends with benefits style romance that just kind of goes awry. I know that Colleen Hoover's novels are normally kind of dark and they battle with some serious topics, and there's a lot of very explicit scenes, and I don't know, I saw it for 50 cents at my library and I was like, why the heck not? The next book I actually got in, well, the next two books I actually got in my OwlCrate subscription this month, which I did film a video for, and I will link down below for you guys if you're interested in it. And the first book is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This is actually a book that I was so excited about when I first started hearing about it here on BookTube. It follows a Viking warrior girl who's been raised to be a warrior her entire life, and one of the days that she's battling with a rival clan, she sees her brother fighting with the rival clan. But that's impossible because she saw him die 5 years ago. And that's really all I know about it, but I'm already intrigued because I love Vikings and I'm intrigued. The next book that I got in the subscription box was Catching Stars by Kayla Keenan. This book follows a witch named Jayen who is super powerful and has been in hiding. She doesn't really want to be found, and an old acquaintance tracks her down and kind of drags her back into the life that Jane had been trying to escape and still wants to escape. And then we also follow another character, Maddox, who has been wrongfully imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, and he escapes from prison and kind of goes looking for witch hunters to help him out, but things kind of go wrong and he's running from that, Jane's running from the other things, and they meet and they sort of have to set aside their differences to work together and escape their fates. I love witchy reads, and it looks nice and short and dark and fun, so I'm all here for it. Then I bought The Walled City by Ryan Groden. This book actually was really popular a few years ago, I believe, on BookTube, and I just never came around to buying it, but I remember it had intrigued me. I don't know too much about it anymore, I can't remember, but I saw it at Barnes & Noble for $5 and I was like, I have to get it. I'm pretty sure it's a very dark story about a city that obviously is walled and there are people in it trying to escape, and there's three main characters that we follow. I know that was an awful summary. I mean, okay, look at the blurb. 730, that's how many days I've been trapped. 18, that's how many days I have left to find a way out. Intriguing. Also, while I was at Barnes & Noble, I actually saw another book on sale that I just had to buy, and that was The Hammer of Thor, Magnus Chasing the Gods of Asgard. This is the second book in that trilogy. I own the first one and I am about to rent it, I believe, on audiobook for my library. I'm the next one on the list, and I'm really excited to listen to it on audiobook, and I figured I would buy the second book just in case I really loved it and had to just jump into the next one, which I probably would. If you didn't know, this is Rick Riordan's Norse mythology segment of all his mythology books. It follows Magnus Chase, obviously, and I believe he is Annabeth's cousin, I want to say. I'm not positive though. Again, I kind of have a weird obsession with Vikings and Norse mythology and that, and I don't know that much about it, so I love Rick Riordan's books because it's always jam-packed with so much information about the myths he is pulling from, and I just learned so much every single time, so I can't wait to see what I learn from these books. The next few books I actually got on Book Outlet because Book Outlet has so many cheap books and I love it. And the first one is What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard. I am really quite excited about this. It follows a 16-year-old girl named Elizabeth who has developed an eating disorder. She's counting calories, she just wants to be a size 0, and she is sent, I believe, to a facility that will help treat her for her diagnosis, and I think it just follows her journey. I did hear Emma Books talk about this in one of her videos, and she said that it was a very good representation of an eating disorder. I am personally really fascinated in all sorts of mental disorders and reading from the perspective of people with mental disorders. I do study psychology. I'm about to graduate with my degree, and it's just always something that's kind of interested me. And I got Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This follows Eliza, who makes a very famous webcomic, but kind of keeps her online life and her real life separate. No one at school knows that she is the one that makes that webcomic. And this new boy at school appears, I believe his name is Wallace, yep. And he is like one of the most avid fans of this webcomic, and he makes really great fan fiction for it, and they kind of meet and get to know each other, but she doesn't really want to tell him her secret. But eventually it gets out and it has some consequences. I mostly am really excited to read it just because I just finished Fangirl and I really loved it. And this has very fangirly vibes, and I heard such good things about this when it got really big on BookTube a few months ago. So I really can't wait to read it because everyone says it's just the sweetest little journey. I also got Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I'm really excited about this. I think it's a sci-fi, I'm not positive, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with superheroes. The superheroes are called Renegades, and I want to say that this is actually from the perspective of like a villain's henchman. Like there's a villain that has someone that's trying to go in to destroy the Renegades because they have a grudge against them for some reason. But I don't know, I'm not very positive about it. I just know that a lot of people really liked it. It's a thick book. I love superheroes, love, love, love superheroes, so I think it's going to be a really fun ride. Well, that's the last book that's going to fit there. Next up, I got The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Again, this is another book that was really popular on BookTube a few months back and just sounded really, really interesting. So this is in a version of New York where magic has become everything but extinct. It is basically outlawed by this order that also created a barrier around Manhattan that if you were to cross that barrier, you're officially stuck inside of Manhattan. And if you were to try to escape, you would lose all your powers and potentially your life. And the people that can still study magic that still live are called mages, and they're living in hiding. This story particularly follows Esta, whose talent is to manipulate time, and she is a thief for the mages in hiding. So this one particularly follows her on a mission to New York in 1902 to steal the most important artifact she has yet to steal, and I think that just already sounds really interesting because New York in 1902, intriguing. Magic, intriguing. So time travel? I can't wait to see how they work with that, because time travel is always something that I'm a little nervous to read about because you can really mess it up really fast because timelines. I'm sorry, Stitch. I'm sorry. I also got The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. This is the sequel to A Study in Charlotte. So basically this series follows the descendants of Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and their descendants are Charlotte Holmes and Jamie Watson. This is the sequel, so I don't really know much about it. I haven't read the first one either. They're really short and cute reads, so I figured I should just get the second one because once I read the first one, I'm probably just gonna want to jump into the second. I also got Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. This is the third book in the Anna and the French Kiss trilogy. I don't know. I really don't know what it's called. I am not 100% sure why I bought this. I have poor impulse control. I haven't read Anne and the French Kiss. I bought it mostly, don't judge me, mostly because I knew I wasn't gonna like it. And sometimes it's kind of fun to read books that you're like, this is so cheesy, this is so cheesy. Sometimes it's fun, so I kind of wanted to see what that was like, and if I ended up liking it, I guess I would want to jump into the rest of the series. This is the third book though. I don't know if you have to read them in order though, because I know they follow different people, so who knows how that works. I also bought Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I'm intrigued. The second book just came out, Daughter of the Siren Queen. So not only is she daughter of the Pirate King, she's daughter of the Siren Queen. And that really intrigued me. So after that, I kind of had to buy this book because I really want to read Daughter of the Siren Queen. It basically follows this 17-year-old pirate named Alosa, and she is on a mission to find a giant treasure. And to find this treasure, she lets herself get captured by her enemies to learn more about them, to learn where the treasure is, and shenanigans ensue from there. And it basically, I like the last line, I'm gonna read it to you. It says, "But not to worry, for Alosa has a few tricks up her sleeve, and no lone pirate can stop the daughter of the Pirate King." So she sounds like she's gonna be a badass, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. This next book I'm so excited for. Oh, you can see it. I'm so excited for. I'm just gonna show it to you. It's The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. I don't know how to say his first name. I barely know how to say his last name. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is a Witcher novel, which if you haven't heard of The Witcher, there are some very, very popular video games based off of these books. I recently, or not recently, I guess a couple years ago, I had to play The Witcher 3 for my mythology class, and I know, really cool mythology class, but I fell in love with it. Not only did I like fall in love with the game and Geralt and everyone, but I actually fell in love with like video games from that. So I never knew it was based off of a novel until I think the end of because I didn't finish the game, or I did finish it. Well, at the end of the game, I'm pretty sure it says based off of the novel by Andrzej Sapkowski, and that's when I found out that it was based off of books. And then I saw them in Barnes & Noble one time and I was like, no freaking way. But I was kind of worried because like I had such high hopes because the game was so amazing. So I was a little worried about it, but I actually recently saw Clara from Clara Reads a Lot. I want to say that's her thing. If not, I'm gonna link it down below. But she was talking about this, saying that it's one of the best like fantasy books that she's read. So that gave me a lot of hope, because if someone's read it and says it's fantastic, that must mean it's pretty true. So I'm so excited to pick this up and read it, and I will let you guys know. Next up, I also got A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. This is the sequel to An Ember in the Ashes. The third book is coming out, I believe, this coming month. It's A Reaper at the Gates. And I just finished An Ember in the Ashes a couple weeks ago, so I figured if I could just jump onto the sequel, I could be ready for when the third book comes out. And I'm really, really excited about it. Basically, it follows two characters, Laia and Elias. Laia is a scholar. The scholars have been taken over by the Empire, and the Empire was kind of ruling over them brutally. And she just kind of kept her head down until one day her brother was captured and taken by the Empire. And she, to save her brother, joins the rebels to spy in the most prestigious school that trains the masks, which you'll find out what masks are if you read this book. And then Elias is the best student at this school. So I don't know, that's really all I have to say about it, but I really liked the first book, and I'm really excited about this one because the first one was kind of like a lot of setting up, I feel like, and this one I feel like it's gonna be full throttle, so I'm really excited about it. I am mildly bummed that, because they did cover changes and they're amazing, but they don't have them yet in hardcovers, and I have An Ember in the Ashes in this cover form, so I was like, I'm not gonna buy the paperback of the fancy cover when I already have the other one, so I guess my copies just won't match. And well, not finally, but kind of finally, I have Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I'm terribly excited about this. This is the sequel to This Savage Song. So this actually is set in a city named Verity, where every violent act that's committed by someone can turn into a monster. I know. And this city is divided in between sort of the side that you pay for your freedom and the side that fights for their freedom. And it follows the two main characters, Kate, who is the daughter of the man who is very corrupt and gets people to pay for their protection against the monsters, and then it also follows August, who is the son of the man who leads the fight against the monsters. So their paths cross, as I'm sure you know, and it's incredible. I loved it so much. This is my first Victoria Schwab, B.E. Schwab book, and I just don't know what I was waiting for so long, and I really want to dive into this book right now. The next few books are super, super, super exciting, which is why I saved them for the end, and I mean, I just kind of want to get into them. I'm sure you're going to be able to tell like the second that I show you the first book, so. So the first one I have here is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling, illustrated by Olivia Lominich-Gill. This is... Okay, sorry if I'm at a slightly different angle. Someone just came to my door and I had to go like check and see what's going on. I'm out of breath now, I ran up the stairs. Alright, so let's get to my super exciting. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling. This is the new illustrated edition, which I am so excited for. I never actually read the unillustrated edition, so I feel like it's perfect that I waited for this one, because how could you really learn about fantastic beasts and where to find them if you can't see them? This is just gorgeous. I've been like flipping through the... Can we talk about this? The illustrations are gorgeous and I'm so excited to jump into this. So yeah, that's the first one. The next thing I got was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the illustrated edition, which again I'm really excited for. I have been dying to do a reread of Harry Potter lately, but I'm holding off on it because I'm doing a reread of Throne of Glass right now, and if I'm doing that many rereads, I'm gonna lose my mind and I can't read my TBR, and I have a giant TBR. Obviously. When I do get to my reread, I'm going to do it with the illustrated editions because I just want to be able to like enjoy, savor, love every single gorgeous illustration. So I bet you can probably guess what the next two things I'm going to show you are. Potentially, especially if you saw my reading vlog. That's right. Ah! I got it. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Also the illustrated editions. There was a deal for them on Scholastic and I just had to do it because I've been wanting to start this collection for so long and I just couldn't bring myself to spend like $40 on them, but here they are in my hands and I'm really happy about it, and this is just going to be so perfect for my reread, and I know I'm rambling at this point so I should probably just stop. So that's going to be it for my book haul today. That's all I have for you. I know, that's it, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below what books you're most excited for, because I'm gonna need to narrow this down for the next books that I'm reading. Obviously, it's gonna be like Our Dark Duet and A Torch Against the Night, but I don't know. I still like to hear opinions. Like this video if you liked this video, and comment down below because I love to hear your guys' thoughts, and subscribe if you want to, but obviously you don't need to. And that's gonna be it for my video today, and I will see you in my wrap-up. Bye! Time to do this fucking thing. Let's put this one on the bottom. This one. This one. This one. Okay, it's getting heavy. We're gonna do this one. This one. Shit. Oh god, my arm. It's about to like give. Oh my goodness. Okay, rest. Yeah. This is so hard. Oh god, I don't think I can do anymore. Ah! There's 3 more. Okay, I can do this. Okay. Well, I hope that picture turned out, because that's the last time I'm doing that. I'm sorry, books.